Hi, my name is DelmarshaeWalker. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a great day today. If you watched my previous videos, I talked about my life growing up, and I also talked about my relationship with God and how it started when I was around 5 years old. My parents, they never went to church. We didn't grow up going to church, but they were spiritual people. They did believe in God. And recently I've been cleaning out my mom's house, and I just want to kind of show some books I came across while I was cleaning. These was my dad's. Make sure of all things, hold fast to what is fine. Man's salvation, outer world distress at hand. And all these are religious books. God, eternal purpose, new, triumphant for men's good. Let God be true. Life everlasting in freedom of the sons of God. And then I also have the Holy Bible. And this was my mom's Bible. I would see her reading it. And also this Bible. This is another Bible. And this Bible. And this Bible was my Bible that I had got, but when I moved out of my parents' house, I left it there. So these are all the Bibles and different spiritual books I came across. And then it's this one, You Are Not a N-Word, Yahweh, God of Gods. And then the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets. But I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I don't know where the other one's at. But it's the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets. So as you can see, they were religious people. And like I said, I would see my dad reading the Bible. I would see my mom reading the Bible. And even though my dad didn't go to church, he would watch people like, those mega preachers back in the days on TV. And so God was talked about, God was there. And like I said, I had my own relationship with God. Saying all that, I also wanted to say that Sunday morning, getting the Sunday paper, my dad would read the horoscopes based on his birth sign. My mom would read the horoscopes. And then as I got older, I would start reading my horoscopes, to see what's going on, what's going to happen. And then they also looked into other things. Like my mom, she learned how to read the tarot cards. And so she would read the cards to me sometimes, and she would read the cards to my dad. And so one hand, it was God, and then on the other hand, it was looking into these other things as far as to see how your life was going to go, what direction your life was going to go in, looking at the tarot cards, reading the horoscopes. And so until I actually got older, where I really got into, it's like I would read certain scriptures out of the Bible, mostly the Psalms, but I never really actually read the Bible. And then once I got older, I had decided, I really want to see what's in the Bible, because I would hear different preachers and And like I said, I will only read certain scriptures in the Bible. So I just started reading the whole Bible. And then that's when one of the things that I realized that I was doing against God was tarot cards, reading the horoscopes and things like that. Because when it comes to God, there is nothing else. It's God, and you can't have God on one hand and like I'm gonna read my horoscope on the other, because that's kind of like canceling God out. That's like I have faith in God and what God is going to do for me, but let me go to these other sources to see how my life is going to be, to see what's going to go on with my life. And so as Christians, we can't go back and forth. We can't on one hand be so religious that we're showing up to church and we have in our Bible, we're quoting scriptures, but then we're looking towards other things to get answers that to get answers to questions that we should be going to God for and waiting on Him to give us that answer. And then we get tired of waiting on God and say, okay, let me run over here. Let me, look into this situation. Our listed is different scriptures in the Bible that speaks against, worshiping the suns, the stars, and the moon. And I will try to list those below. But it's like, that's why it's important. It's like, regardless of, because I did, I can't really speak for my parents, but I did based on what I saw. I seen my parents reading the Bible. I seen them, watching religious things on TV, but also delving into this other world. So to me, that was normal. I didn't see anything wrong with that. And I feel that a lot of times as Christians, we do certain things that we don't feel that there's anything wrong with it, because that is what we see. That is what other people around us is doing. And no one's there to tell us that it's wrong. No one's there to say to us, you should not do that. When you think about God Himself, He's always saying that He wants to be in a relationship with us, or we should be in a relationship with God. If you just think about, don't think for a moment, don't think about God as God. Think about the word relationship. Think about what that means when someone says they're in a relationship with someone, or they want to be in a relationship with this person, or they just started a relationship with this person. When you're in a relationship, you're getting to know that person. And in order to truly know that person, you're going to have to start spending more and more time with that person. And if you're not putting in the work and putting in the effort to get to know that person, you're not going to have a great relationship. There's going to be things or times when something happened and you're not going to understand why they did this or why they said that, because you never took the time to build a relationship with them. You never took the time to get to know them. You never took the time to get to know what they like or what they don't like, or what you should do or shouldn't do, around them, and vice versa. But once you start truly taking that relationship serious and you're saying, okay, I really want to be with this person, so I'm going to I'm going to do what I need to do to get to know this person. So that means you're going to kind of like block out everything else and other voices, so you can really concentrate on getting to know that person. You're not going to go to someone else to say, hey, tell me about this person I'm trying to be with. Those are the questions that you need to ask that person, because if you think about it, the person that you're talking to cannot truly tell you who someone else is. Just like I can't tell you, I could tell you what I think I know about someone else, or I could tell you what my experience was with someone else, but that's not telling you who that person is, because my experience with them might have been great. Your experience might be bad. My experience with them might have been bad, and you're like, no, my experience with them is great. Because a person until you actually be around a person, get to know a person, you truly don't know who they are. And so that's the same thing with God. We have to really take our time. Don't just go by what someone else is telling you about God. Spend time with him by reading your Bible. Spend time with him just with a normal conversation. Like, God, guess what happened to me today? Even though we know God already know, God, just guess what happened to me today? You know, if something great happened to you, or if something bad happened to you, if you're confused about something, hey, God, you know, we're so used to, let me pick up the phone and tell this person this or tell this person that. No, God, you know, I was looking for this particular whatever. I went to the store and I found it. Oh, I'm so excited. Have that conversation with God. That is building a relationship, because when you're willing to talk to God about stuff that's might seem insignificant to you, as far as, man, that's God. Why would I be telling God that I had a great day? Why would I tell God that, you know, I found my keys after I was looking for them, and where, you know, hey, I found my keys and you know, I had left them at such and such a place, and I went there and they were still there. But once you start telling God about the insignificant things, which just come out of your mouth naturally, then when things start happening that's more significant, more devastating, it would be easy for you to go to God in those situations as well. But we also, we get accustomed to, let me pick up the phone and call this person. Let me tell this person this, or let me tell that person that, or let me hop on the internet and see what they say. Let me just put this out there and get their opinion. But we never spend that time talking to God. We never spend those empty moments talking to God. We only, want to talk to God when something devastating is happening to us. And it's like, have you really built, it's like you're coming to me asking me about something, but I don't really know you. You know what I'm saying? Because you haven't really spent time with me, but now it's something major, and now you're coming to me. But if you think about it in that way, if you have, it's like you go to a neighbor you never talked to, then all of a sudden you're asking them, hey, can I borrow this? Hey, what about this? Or can you help me with this? They might look at you like you're crazy, like, I don't know who you are. But if you have a neighbor that you're always speaking to, hey, how you doing? Oh, I see this, or I heard this, or, this is going on. Then when you go to them and say, hey, I need a favor, it would be easier for them to say yes to you, because y'all built a relationship. Y'all established a relationship. And that's the same thing it is with God. You can't just rely on, my mother know God, the preacher know God, my father know God, my cousin know God. Do you know God? Do you have a relationship with God? What do your relationship with God look like? How dedicated are you to God? Is he the first person? You see everybody posting God first, God first and everything. Is he truly first? When something happened, is he truly the first person you think about? So really just kind of think about your personal relationship with God. Not, I'm a Christian. What do your personal relationship look like with God? I don't care how many times you go to church. I don't care if you go to Bible study. I don't care about any of that. What do your personal relationship with God look like? Do you spend time reading your Bible to see exactly what the Bible says? And according to, because like I said, once you start reading the Bible for yourself, you will see that some of the information you have been given may have been wrong information, or you may discover things that you never knew before because it was never talked about. Because if you think about church, they do not say, turn to chapter 1, let's start with Genesis, and we're going to go through from Genesis to Revelation. You never did that. No matter how many years you've been going to church, y'all never sat and went through the whole Bible. So therefore, you're going to have to take the time yourself to read it. And the great thing about the Bible, you don't have to just start with Genesis. You can jump in anywhere you want to. You can start with the Old Testament. You can start with the New Testament. You can start with Revelations. You can start with any of those books within the Bible. You can start there and read it. Whatever you're curious about or want to know. Oh, I want to know what happened with Job. Go ahead and read Job. Oh, I want to know what happened with Ruth, Matthews, or John. You could go straight to those books and just read those, and then go wherever you want to. You really don't have to start at the beginning of the Bible and read it all the way through. And that's the great thing about it. You can start with any of those books you want to and read that, and you will still get a relationship with God, and you will get a full understanding of the Bible. And so that's basically it. Just make sure you're grounded in God. Oh, and another thing. I'm sorry. The other thing, before it slips my mind again, a lot of times I feel that as Christians, we get to the point that we don't want to offend anyone else. And I understand that. But we offend God in the process of trying not to offend other people. And it's one thing to purposely be rude to someone, but it's another thing to stand firm on your religious of who you are as a person, because you have to have some type of value. As an individual, as a person, you have to have some type of value, some type of ground that you stand on, that it's not going to waver. And so for me, that is God. My love for God is not going to waver. So I stand firm on that. And I get things coming to my phone, like words of encouragement. And some of the things I get, it will say whatever, and like you're supposed to read it, and then it has the word universe in there. Thank the universe for this, or if you do this and this, the universe will give you this. Every time I'm reading those things, I replace universe with God. Thank God for this, or thank God for getting something that you haven't got yet. Every time I see universe, I replace it with God. And sometimes as religious people, on one hand, I hear people saying, I believe in God, I'm a Christian, but then they'll turn around and say, pray to God about this, or pray to whoever you pray to. And to me, it's like, God's, it's like, I understand that there's other religions out there. I would never purposely try to offend anyone, upset anyone about their belief. But I'm not going to water down my belief because I may offend them. And if they stand firm on their belief as far as who they worship, then they should understand me standing firm on who I choose to worship. So if I'm worshiping God, I'm going to say pray to God. I'm not going to say pray to God or whoever you believe in, or pray to the universe. No, I'm not putting that out there. Pray to God. And if that offends you, then that's on you, because that's not it's like God is if I'm saying God is my father, I'm talking about my Father. I'm talking about how great my Father is. I'm talking about what my Father can do, will do, has done, and everything like that. And if me talking about my Father upsets you in any type of way, I'm sorry, but that's my Father, and so it's not that I'm doing it with malice. It's not that I'm doing it to upset, make mad, but that's my Father. And I'm gonna talk about my Father. If I say, pray to God, my Father, our Father, that's what I'm saying. And if it irritates you or bother you in any type of way, then I'm not the person for you. That's just as simple as that. And like I said, that's not me being rude. That's not me being disrespectful. That's not me trying to upset anyone, make anyone mad or anything like that, or make anyone feel less than. But like I said, if I'm following this, if I'm going in this direction, I have to stand firm on what I believe in. And part of what my father says is love everyone. And that's what I try to do. But I'm not going to not, it's like either I'm going to offend man or I'm going to offend God. I'm not going to offend my father. And if you get offended by what I say, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to offend my father. And I think a lot of times as Christians, we choose to offend God to not offend man. And so that's it. That's what I want to say. And like I said, I'm going to try to leave information down below as far as different scriptures touching on what I have been talking about. And so I hope everyone has a great day. Peace.